Hi, welcome to Roy's Book Reviews. Today I am going to discuss the novel Origin by Dan Brown. Dan Brown is one of, if not my favorite, I guess I would describe it as eye candy type of writer. His style is formulaic. From book to book, you kind of see, okay, here he is doing this again. But the things that he does do in each of his books, I find pretty enjoyable, especially in the first Dan Brown book that I read, The Da Vinci Code, which is, where he pretty much blew up and became a global writing superstar. Dan Brown is at it again in Origin, and so is his favorite protagonist, Robert Langdon. As I said, I have read several Dan Brown novels, and I've been impressed by the consistency and reliability of their quintessential Dan Brownness. Will you get a page-turner thriller in which the fate of the world is at stake? Check. Will you be bombarded by elements of both science and religion with the legitimacy of faith in God, seemingly in peril at every turn, yet somehow managing to persevere? Check. Will you find like you took a college course after having learned about multiple fascinating locations and organizations and rituals that you never knew existed before? Check. Will Robert Langdon, the ultimate know-it-all, be an expert on just about everything encountered in the course of the story? Check. Will he juggle adventure going and mystery solving with a flirtation due to having a beautiful woman at the hip throughout his journey? But in the end, it won't amount to much, as Robert Langdon, unlike, say, James Bond, is the sort of hero who always meets but never gets the girl. Check. The fact that Dan Brown never strays or deviates from his tried and true formula does not mean that I have grown weary of it. I have not enjoyed all Dan Brown novels equally, but they each have their charm. The question, are you not entertained, has continued to be answered by his books in the affirmative. Now, Origin does not feature the thread of deadly widespread peril that we got in Inferno. Strays closer to his biggest hit, The Da Vinci Code, in that the big climax we're headed towards is a revelation, or two or three, that will likely rock humanity to its core. In the Da Vinci Code, the big reveal is whether Jesus got married and fathered a child, and if there is a descendant from his bloodline living among us. That, rather than a golden chalice, turns out to be the legendary Holy Grail. In Origin, a genius computer whiz who happens to be a former student of Robert Langdon promises, or threatens, depending on how you choose to see it, to reveal the answers to the biggest questions of all. How did all of this begin? In other words, is the truth the Bible's Adam and Eve story? Or is it the Big Bang Theory? Or is it the result of extraterrestrial DNA drop-off? Or is there some other explanation that has eluded mankind until now? So that's the first question. Where are we destined to go or become is the second. This may differ from reader to reader, but I personally found the questions posed and explored in Origin to be less compelling than the mysteries unearthed in fictional form in the Da Vinci Code. And mankind isn't being threatened with extinction or population cleansing in Origin, such as was the case with the more urgent plot of Inferno. There's no deadly vendetta against the Catholic Church by my favorite club, the Illuminati, like there was in Angels and Demons. Instead, the big payoff in Origin is basically a press conference hosted in dramatic high-tech fashion by a man named Edmund Kirsch. so the stakes are not quite as high in origin as in previous Dan Brown books. I try to remain spoiler free in reviews, so I'll simply say that Edmund is initially thwarted from delivering his earth shattering message. But where there is will, there is a way, and what Edmund cannot pull off on his own perhaps can be accomplished on his behalf by a determined Robert Langdon, who as usual is accompanied by a beautiful woman he has decided to trust. But our hero is never distracted from the task at hand. He's also aided by Edmund's resourceful artificial intelligence assistant named Winston. Having Winston at his constant virtual disposal, except for a period of time after he is forced to ditch his cell phone, allows the extremely learned Robert Langdon to be even more of a know-it-all than usual. Because Winston, is a computer and can give him any factual piece of information that is needed to be known in an instant. So Robert's constantly learning something from Winston, and therefore the readers are learning it from the two of them, and we're just getting smarter and smarter as we go along. But Dan Brown always has a few cards hidden up his sleeve until the final scene. I wasn't blown away by Origin. There was a predictability to the outcome, in my opinion. I'm not the best at guessing how writers will wrap up a story, but with this book, I did pretty well in anticipating how things would turn out. Maybe that's because I have several Dan Brown novels under my belt at this point, so I'm starting to get a better idea from the get-go of where is he going with this. I was also a little less attached to the secondary characters than had previously been the case. How attached can one grow to a computer program? And since the woman running around with Langdon is engaged to another man, he has even less of a shot at getting the girl in this book than usual, less flirting going on. Nevertheless, I did enjoy and race through Origin. Dan Brown is a master at getting readers to hungrily turn through his pages. I look forward to his next offering, which I will tackle when in the mood for the easiest of reads, and when I feel like putting more money into the pockets of a guy who must be pretty rich from all these books that he has sold. So that's all I have to say about Origin by Dan Brown. If you are into Dan Brown, then you'll be into this book. It's not at the top of my list of favorite books of his. Somewhere in the middle, I would say. It's worth checking out. And if you are a mid-speed or faster reader, you will fly through this book in a couple of days. It's a fairly large page count, but you read it at such a frenetic pace that you'll be through it before you know it, and you will have some information about a variety of things that you didn't know you wanted to know now in your head, until it goes out of your head, as it does with me all the time pretty quickly. So that's all I have to say. As always, happy reading. Until next time, peace.